Oh, yeah, and I didn't even have to sing it myself this time around. Welcome back, folks. Steve Malzberg, and we are joined. All right, band, stop playing. Take a hike. You're not getting paid anymore, so stop it. You see, Kendall, either they're not here or they just can't, you can't get rid of them.
I can't get enough of that song. So
you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna send you guys. Seriously, an MP3 of the Spinning the Law Open that will be coming to you pronto. How do you like that?
I love it.
Every time your phone rings for us or anybody, you could have that go off on your iPhone. How do you like that?
Oh, I'm going to do that. No, I'm on. I'm with it. So
all right, good, good. You're down. You're down, baby. All right. So welcome back. Always great to have your valuable time and talk to you. All right. So let's talk about this. Last week, we talked about another T-shirt controversy where the officials at a school in California, high school, I believe, on Cinco de Mayo, they made the American students who wanted to show their pride turn their American flag shirts inside out, and that went to court. And now we have a case of a high school student in upstate New York who has been wearing an NRA, a pro-NRA T-shirt. Apparently he had been asked before to not wear it or to tape it up. And finally, they suspended him for a day for wearing an NRA T-shirt. And I believe we might have that. I don't know if we have it or not, but if we do, we'll put it up. But so what's the case here? I mean, how do they have a right to do that?
Well, it sounds like a pretty good case for the student if he wants to take them to court. You know, there's nothing provocative. You know, y'all sent me copies of the T-shirt, and I know you listeners of course, can't see it. But this is not like something menacing where it's like the whole idea of his T-shirt is, you know, I've got an Uzi here or something, and I might just start pulling the trigger. It's clearly all about expressing his First Amendment protected rights. Second Amendment is the biggest lettering on the T-shirt. So why isn't this protected? And I don't know if we'll get to it today, but there's another case where students' First Amendment rights were respected in terms of an issue that arose for the schools. Now, the way it was explained, and it sounds like a fair amount of spin to me, that he was suspended this is what the school is saying now, Steve, that he was not suspended because of the opinion he expressed, but because he was insubordinate and didn't, I guess, obey the directive to not wear the T-shirt. But that's kind of double talk.
I was going to say, yeah, and it sounds like legalese to me, but not even a strong case.
Yeah, it's double talk. It's like, okay, your employer comes in and asks you to do something illegal. You refuse. So then he says, well, I fired you not because you refused to do something illegal, but because you're insubordinate.
Right, you didn't listen to me.
Yeah, if the original instruction is unconstitutional, then you got a right to be insubordinate. So, you know, I think he would have a good case. It's a little unsettling that something that is really nothing short of simply saying, I believe strongly in this one amendment to the Constitution of the United States. If that gets you suspended from school, then somebody needs to read the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States.
Well, I don't want to throw you a curve here, but what about the little kids? You know, and basically it's open and shut. This is why they're suspended. What about the little kids like 7, 8 years old, 6 years old, who put their fingers, you know, go bang with their finger, they hold their forefinger out and with their thumb go bang, and then they're suspended, or they don't even know what they did. Is that constitutional? Is that different than this, you think?
Well, I mean, it's hard to know what the issues are. The younger you get in school, I mean, they've all said that, you know, kids in school have a little less in the way of constitutional protection. The younger you get, maybe less protection. But the real question in what you described is were the kids attempting to express, was it about freedom of speech on the one hand, and on the other hand, was that something that was really provocative, where it could create some kind of issue of discipline or sort of keeping control of the classroom.
Right.
The example in the case that we're talking about today is pretty open and shut. The kid was doing nothing inappropriate, and everything about the T-shirt he was wearing was to express his political views, which is the core of what we protect in this country.
All right, let's have a little fun with this one, and I don't know where you weigh in. I mean, I was in the delivery room when my son was born. It was no picnic, certainly, but a case in New Jersey recently, a New Jersey judge blocking a father from the delivery room, saying that the woman has a right to privacy. Now, this judge said that mothers can decide who will be with them when giving birth, And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this man and woman were not married. Either they were divorced or never were fully married. I don't know. As long as I guess I kind of swing both ways. I'm very strong on fathers' rights and being equal partners. If they have the responsibility financially, which they should, then they should also have other benefits as well. But I don't know. I could see where a woman would say, no, he might upset me. We don't get along. I know he's the father, but we're estranged. On the other hand, I could see where the father says, this is the birth of my child, too. It's a miracle, and I want to watch it. So was the judge overstepping his bounds here, or do you agree with the decision?
I think this one is a close call. I'm not quite so sure about it. I guess the one area where I think I would have disagreement is judge treating it as something that's based on some of the rights set forth in federal abortion cases. I don't think this has anything to do with whatever the issues might be with respect to abortion. This isn't that right to choose. This is really a patient's right of privacy, because obviously, we guys have to recognize it is the one that's carrying the baby and delivering the baby, and in that sense, she is the patient. What I would love to see put into the mix of what are some difficult legal issues here. What about the best interest of a child? Because you're talking about delivery, so let's forget about all the earlier months in the sense that we now have a baby. Isn't it in the best interest of the child to have a completely committed father as well as, of course, a healthy mother? Because, we all know that there are plenty of issues over the years of getting fathers to fully participate, fully support the child. And is it such a great idea from the standpoint of the child's best interest to exclude the father from what may be really a pivotal moment that could create a lifetime of bonding?
Yeah,
so
very good point.
That should be part of the discussion, I think.
Yeah, very, very good point. All right, let's talk about this. And I don't know how much of a legal issue this is. It just seems to me as something that shouldn't fly. And maybe it is a legal issue. That's why I sent it to you in the first place. But there's a ballot measure in Montana that would require an equal number of men and women to serve in the state legislature. And it's a step closer now to becoming law in Montana. What does that say for our system, and what does that say for, freedom of candidates to run? And now you're going to have quotas on who must be elected? It just doesn't, it seems to fly in the face of what we do here.
Well, I think it is a legal issue. I think it's a constitutional issue, because what it's really saying is that the fundamental right to vote is being manipulated.
Right.
I mean, in effect, years ago when we had these, some states where you didn't have one person, one vote, the courts went to a lot of trouble to say, every vote's supposed to count, and the voter gets to choose, and you can't, in effect, dilute that vote by stacking the deck. To say that no matter who you want to vote for, this is the ratio or the percentage of what the outcome has to be is clearly, in my mind, unconstitutional. By the way, there's also, most states respect the right of candidates to participate in the system. But I look at this as, hey, the voters get to decide. Sometimes we make great choices. Sometimes we have voters' remorse. But it's a constitutional right, and we get to decide.
Yeah, and they don't even address in the bill how that would be accomplished. And dare I bring up, what about a sex change? That would throw the whole thing into flux.
You're very daring, Steve.
I know. Hey, Kendall, great to talk to you. Seriously, guys, we need an MP4 or 3 of the theme for Kendall so he could listen to it, put it on his ringtone. Thank you, Kendall.
Okay, Steve. Great talking.
Take care. Spinning the Law with Kendall Coffey. Yeah, he's going to use that. I guarantee he's going to use that. All right, folks, one final segment. We're going to start calling it the M Block. It's the M Block coming up on the Steve Malzberg Show.